Good morning. It's right now 10 to 4 a.m. Wednesday morning, the 15th of January, the 15th of Tavis. That's off Tavis. I'm going to go give a shir of Chaim, lesson a day. This is my other book. This book has the color cover. The other one has a black cover. I don't know which one's older, which one is that one exactly. But the Baruch Hashem, this morning I came into shul and I found a little mess over here. It looks like someone spilled some soda all over the floor. It's a little mess. So there's a Rambam that I quote the Shem of Chaim Davis from Seik, Mon Mary Bayim. And he brings down, he once gave me Aliyah for Levi. And I told him I'm not Moshe Leib Stern's actual son, I'm his foster son. So he said he could go up for a Levi. Shem Hilchos Mitzvahs say Shemitah, and the Rambam brings down that certain Yisraelim will be considered as Leviim also lovely, like Talmidei Chachamim and like certain people who have a Shir and Levi. But I didn't hold like that. But the Maisa out my Mishpachas Stern, I should be able to shir the shimush of a basic knesset at least, and clean up a mess in a basic knesset out my shir from the Mishpachas Levi. I'm not a Levi, but I'm Yisrael ben Yisrael ben V'dav Shleim ben Achben ben Hashem. But the Maisa is als the part as I was raised in the Mishpachas Levi, als that shir and als Talmid Chacham also als Yoitza the Rambam Hilchos Shemitah by cleaning up the Beis Medrash, the mess that was spilled there, the soda that was spilled, whatever was spilled, the stain that made on the floor. I found a mop in the basement. I was able to clean it up at about 3:30, 3:45 in the morning. So people should come to the shul and see a floor without a stain or a mess in there. I don't know, the guy usually cleans it up, but really the guy is not responsible for the shul. It's really the Leviim and the Talmidei Chacham that are responsible for the shul to look clean and neat. Because according to the Rambam Hilchos Shemitah, they're the ones who are supposed to be mishamish the Beis Mikdash, the Beis Mikdash Mu'at, the Beit Midrashim, is the Talmidei Chacham and the Leviim. Boy Nishloim Yotzim V'nechal Yachim Chan Shkeni Yom Chol Yom Nishma Pi L'Shonim V'Lashon Ha'il Chilas V'Zor Midam V'Chilas Ish Yachid L'Shkeni L'Skol Chai Sol Chelik Mahem V'Chol Shkeni L'Sol V'Vidois Shekol Baruch Hu V'Zor Midam V'Shdiv V'Shekach Hanuva V'Chalikas Kask Aiva V'Noz Devorim Havonas Ponim L'Tzonis Chol Dibur Aser Zakhed Shloi L'Dabit Kim Dovar Tzorch L'Yuni Yonai Gufi V'Nafshi Kol Ma'aseh L'Shabli Shem Shemayim. Hope this video is working. Sometimes my phone doesn't work for some reason. It gets hacked by the Ungers or by the crazy shading down the block. That they sort of turn my phones. They play around with all the settings of my phones to mess around with all my recordings and everything. So it's a nice. Sometimes I don't even have my own control over my own phone because of them. Okay, so here is my handyman thing. I'm gonna now go to these aces. Tesvav Tavis. Yesterday we did a shir yesterday on Yudalit. It was Tesvav Tavis. Yesterday we did a shir on children. Now we're doing a shir on the non-observant. So we're basically talking, because what the Chofetz Chaim here is now basically going on categorical people that people think it might be mutter to speak about them because they have different, like let's say a kohen, I'll talk about these things about a kohen. The truth is, sometimes I go to people's houses and they talk about tefillas and this and that, it's all about praise. Now there's someone there who's not really interested in the conversation of praise about tefillas, about koheres, and my what's it called. So, the guy that talks about it and everything, and it's all arrogant. It's basically conversational. Sometimes it's arrogance. Some people don't even notice that sometimes they even say lashon hara on themselves about certain parts of the tefillah that they didn't say so good. Non-observant, as we have seen, it is forbidden to listen to negative information in any situation where the speaker is transgressing by relating information, as it is not permissible to speak lashon hara about a non-observant Jew, unless he is classified as an apikoros, a heretic. Even apikoros today, heretics today, depends on which category of Judaism they come from. Because some people have shittas that totally apikoros. Like I've entered certain categorical places in Hebrew Yiddishkeit. Like example, not to say lashon hara, but when I was in Monroe and Satmar, I heard so many negative talks about Eretz Yisrael. And there are tzaddikim that live in Eretz Yisrael Gedolim, but they are so b'shita against Eretz Yisrael that the whole Eretz Yisrael is like just a tamei makom tuma, which is basically in the category way of saying that is like you're going in the derech of the meraglim. It's like you're saying lashon hara, like the Zohar Kodesh says, you speak lashon hara on Eretz Yisrael, so he'll speak lashon hara in the Ben Shemalain. So some of these shitas of Satmar, basically, I totally disagree because it's totally shitas just like the meraglim of speaking lashon hara on the Ben Shemalain. Of course, heretic. It is forbidden to listen to lashon hara that it is being spoken about him, as has already been noted. Today, the average non-observant Jew is classified as a tinuk shenishba, lit child who was taken captive, a victim of ignorance and circumstance, and not, God forbid, an apikoros. Now, first of all, most of these Satmar people are so angeret that the Eretz Yisrael is so bad that they didn't even notice that the whole Zionist movement that originally was from like 1948 and everything else is totally a different state since then. The people that went with their Zionist shitas, their fears of shmading, it totally basically ended, because a lot of those people, even themselves, they became from. Because I told them, listen, if a person speaks falsehood, doesn't have any footings, and how long could you go on falsehood? If a person goes on shmad for 40, 50 years, it doesn't last. Eventually it changes. The truth comes out, and the truth hurts when it comes out. And when they face the truth to say that a yid has to be a yid, from a yid, das Torah the yid, no matter what he is doing. So eventually their whole shita of doing shmad and everything else is not lasting. Because it can't last. It can't last. You can't go connect Torah Hilchas Torah. The world is created. Shimon Echai says that the world's created out of Umanat Torah, on the way of the Torah is. So if the Torah is to be from a Yid, you can't go against that with Shmad, no matter how it is. So what they're going against the Zionists and Eretz Yisrael, the Zionist doesn't exist in such a way anymore. Period. First of all, most of for a year or two ago, most of the Israelis went to the Kaisel and asked Mechila for their Rebbeinu Shalom for the way they were. And a lot of them have done tshuva, and we have to accept them as our brothers, and we're not even speak about them that they had a past of apikoros and non religious derech, because it's usher. So we have to accept ahava in ourselves of a love for a person, no matter who or when or what we are. We have to accept a havla of loving this. We can't have a sin against Eretz Yisrael. We can't have a sin against Satmar. Can't have a sin against Kver. You can't have a sin against Bink. You can't have it. The shitas of those people, or basically their arrogance of themselves of having a sinner, is a sickness, a choilis in themselves, and they don't know that they have that choilis. And a lot of them are on medication for that reason, and they don't even notice it, and they don't even face the Archas Hadika or the Mesilas Sharm and how to correct that problem, to get it out, to eradicate, to get it out of their system, and make it that they shouldn't have the sin in them. As mentioned above, to discuss the lifestyle of a particular non-observant Jew, in order to teach others not to learn from his ways, is considered speaking l'tayelis for a constructive purpose. As if you know for sure, he is totally apikoros, what he's doing. and it is therefore also permissible to listen to such a discussion. Similarly, when an individual improper behavior is publicized as a way of pressuring him to mend his ways, it is correct to listen for the goal will never be achieved if everyone chooses to ignore what is being said of the person. Now, in other words, this is a very hard category, because every yid there is a reason of a haftach kamoichem. Now, if you're listening to something of negative about a yid, in order that he should mend his ways, and that we shouldn't follow his ways. Now, we have to boundaries ourselves, basically. Boundaries, cut like divided walls. We love him, but there's certain things in him we hope he mends. But we're not going to hate him because of that. We have to share our brotherhood, basically, that he should grow in the positive ways, and sometimes maybe even speak about certain halachas that he should get the hint of it. But even sometimes speaking about certain halachas around him might be lashon hara also, that he should mend his ways because it might hurt his feelings. So we have to be very careful about that. So sometimes if you have charusa speaking about it, just dafka that he should hear about it, that's also usher. But he should see that person should say it over by his Shabbos table or something like that, that this is usher to do. Now that's like let's say a person gets undressed in his room, his private room. Now you can't judge him how he gets undressed in his private room. First of all, if people are looking in here in Lakewood, Nimach Shemoy V'Zichroi, basically, of those people who basically look into other people's houses, how they behave. Now that's also of 3 psukim, it's like Sas Gvuracha, or Masik Vureyu, and the pasuk Keles, Chayfe Gumas Bayipo, it's Geishchen Nechash. Those 3 psukim basically come to categories that these people that violate and boycott other people's houses to see how they behave and this and that. They're over on these 3 psukim. Straight out, point blank. And these people are very big uppercutting, because sometimes they will judge people in their house. Let's say the guy has a bathroom that's too small to get undressed for the shower, so he has to use part of the room to get undressed to go into the shower. That's his room is besnias, basically. That's the way he has to get it. He doesn't have a place in his bathroom to put down his clothes and things like that. He should be able to get into the shower. So a person's going to say, "Oh, he has to mamish get undressed like this and this way." It's none of his business. First of all, it's against these 3 psukim. If a person is looking into those boundaries of that room where he uses for a shower, it's usher. But if he leaves his room open for everybody else to see in, like as if it's a mikveh, and he leaves his door wide open while he's taking a shower, that everybody should look in there, everybody's walking with, people are usher to look into other people's houses, no matter if their door is open or not. Even in that case, they're usher to look in people's houses. Now, people even take internet and sort of Microsoft of satellite cameras into their computers, that they can look into other people's houses and see what's going on, which is totally usher al pi Torah, these 3 psukim. And it's also the pasuk with lesignoy is also is over on that as well. And in certain ways, if you know how to touch up those psukim the right way, if you understand, if you have a lamdish digger cup, not a kaifer digger cup, like some people have kfira, they even go rip down the emails and the shuls and say that's L'man Hashem. It's totally wrong, because people have emails to have multitasking on their computer for their orders to come in. Like that, they could be busy on their computer making the calculation of the chayvus, of what the calculation where the money is transferred, and the same thing get the orders on their email to come in directly so people can get the stuff, instead of picking up the phone while they're busy in doing that. So these people are ripping down the email, so they shouldn't even have people coming in and giving them panasa. And that's making the system of basically positive money income into a cut short. So yeshivas get shortage, people have shortage of their panasa for their schar lima, for the schools. These people who think they're doing the right thing by ripping down the emails on the advertisements are totally wrong. When one exacts revenge from his fellow Jew, it is himself whom he is hurting. The folly of revenge. Sages teach that a single Jew Jews' sin adversely affects the entire Jewish people. This is because, as mentioned above, all Jews stem from a single source, and are like one when the one organ of a body is injured, the entire body is affected, because all organs together, the machavar makes a guf shalom, right? So gidov makes a guf shalom. If one organ is hurt, doesn't say that it's not going to spread to the next one, because eventually each one is affected. If a person has a weak foot, it means his whole body moves weakly. A scattered sheep is Israel. Yirmiyah 50:17. When the one of the sheep organs becomes afflicted, all its organs are affected, i.e., they become inflamed, which is not the case with other creatures. Similarly, all of Israel can suffer retribution because one Jew's sin. Ishmael taught this can be likened to a group of traveling aboard a ship. One of the travelers begins to drill a hole in the floor beneath him. His companion cries out, "What are you doing? What do you care?" He responds, "I'm drilling only beneath my seat, but the boat will become flooded and all of us will drown." The others retort, "Therefore be exceedingly careful not to exact revenge from your fellow Jew, or bear a grudge towards him. For it is you yourself whom you are hurting. Rather tell yourself that heaven has brought this distress about as a result of your sins. And what difference is there if it came from about through this person or through someone else? If you will accept what has happened, an exact expression of divine will be atoned for your sins." Continue page 411. Let's see what 411 says. We see 411. Let's continue on 411. Continued from page 259. Such was the attitude of David HaMelech, when Avishai and Surya sought to take revenge from Shimei ben Gera for his having cursed David, commanding Avishai to refrain from this. David said, Hashem permitted him to Ravag curse Shmuel 16:10, where it says in Navi. Sages state that it was because of this acceptance of divine will that David merited to be one of the supports of the divine chariot of the kingdom of Klal Yisrael, the main chariot. In explaining the prohibition against taking revenge, Sefer Chinuch writes, among the roots of this mitzvah is that a person know that and take to heart that whatever happens to him, whether for good or for bad, is brought about by Hashem, blessed to see. For nothing can occur that is contrary to his will. Therefore, when one is pained or annoyed by another, he should realize that his sins have caused this, and that this has been decreed by Hashem. Thus he should not return his thoughts to revenge, for this person is not the real cause of his hurt, rather his sin is the cause. Now this we see in our Chassidim and Mesilas Yesharim also. That a person should see if he hurts himself, he should take on his measurements. Why I hurt myself is because maybe with this hand that I hurt myself, I did certain averis, and that's why I hurt myself with them. This explanation does not discount the fact that the one who caused hurt did so of his own free will, and will be held accountable for his misdeed. Right? So in other words, if a person actually who was the one who caused them, now don't think he's not going to get his punishment, because usually the people, just like we see on Mitzrayim, Klal Yisrael had to go through Golus, right? When Shalom said, promised several parshas back, before the Egyptians even started to punish Klal Yisrael. that the morale says that even a boss that has a yosef working for him, and he makes him work certain ways and doesn't pay him the right wages, will exact punishment from him too. So even if you are the cause of someone's suffering, and that's the person who rightfully deserves his suffering in life, eventually you'll get punished also because you're the one who was causing him to suffer. I will ask, well, how should we make someone suffer that he should mend his ways? The truth is, there's a lot of other ways, the sweet melodies of doing it. Usually, they say positive treats brings innocent proof of growth. Basically, when you help someone positively to mend his ways, like through Yisrael, you tell him, if you do this mitzvah, which helps him to come opposite of that aveira that he's doing, and eventually he'll realize from that mitzvah that he's doing the opposite of that aveira. So, and you give him a treat for that, that will help mend his way the right way, and that you'll get schar for, rather than teaching him that his ways are wrong and things like that. And after he does the right way, so you could tell him, very in a way not to hurt him, and something, if a person does this and this aveira is opposite of this aveira, so it doesn't go together, we shouldn't do it. So in that way, you help him cure his totally impositive way of growth of behavior.